Good evening, everyone. This is January 2019 IGCSE Chemistry Paper 1C. In this session, I'll discuss question 7 and 8 with you. So, question 7, in the periodic table, the vertical column of the elements are grouped. The table gives some information about the 4 elements in group 0. State the relation. As you can see, the number increase in relative atomic mass increases the boiling point. State why the element of 0 group are unreactive, or why these element does not react, because they have complete shell and does not tend to lose or gain or share electron. Or share electrons. The element in group 7 of the periodic table are called halogen. State why the halogen have similar chemical properties, refers to their electronic configuration. So they all have same number of electron in the outermost shell, or all have 7 electron in the outermost shell, so tend to gain 1 electron. The order of the reactivity of halogen shown by displacement. The more reactive halogen displaces, the less reactive halogen. So when chlorine is added to sodium bromide, so chlorine is Cl2 and sodium bromide is NaBr. Chlorine will displace, so it will form sodium chloride and bromine. The equation must be balanced, so this is a balanced equation. State the colors of a solution that is formed. So we have bromine, which is formed in aqueous, so it will be orange in color. Explain whether or not the reaction takes place when bromine water is added to sodium chloride solution. So there will be no reaction because bromine is less reactive than chlorine, or it cannot displace chlorine from its compound. The displacement reaction between potassium iodide and chlorine can be represented by ionic equation. Explain why this is described as a redox reaction. So why we call iodine is -1 turned to 0 and chlorine is 0 turned into -1. So one is oxidation, another one is reduction. Why we call redox? Because there is a loss and gain of electron. Iodine, ion or iodide ion lose electron or oxidize, whereas chlorine molecule gain electron or reduced. Chlorine react with hydrogen to form hydrogen chloride. Write a chemical equation. So hydrogen is a non-metal, exists as diatomic. Chlorine also a non-metal, exists as diatomic, and it will form hydrogen chloride. So it will be 2HCl. Some methyl benzene is poured in beaker A and some water is poured in beaker B. Hydrogen chloride gas is dissolved in each liquid. A separate piece of dry blue litmus paper is dipped into each solution. What happened to a piece of litmus in solution A and beaker A and beaker B? Beaker A because there is no change on the litmus paper because it does not produce, or hydrogen chloride does not decompose or give out hydrogen ion. So no change, because hydrogen chloride does not decompose to give H plus, whereas with beaker B, which is having a water, changes because the hydrogen chloride does decompose to give hydrogen ion, and it will turn into red. For question A, the table shows information about the effect of adding sodium hydroxide solution to containing a zinc ion, calcium ion, and aluminum ion. A student is provided with a sample of white solid. A student dissolves some of the white solid in water and then he adds drops of sodium hydroxide. He observed white PPT. What conclusion that the sample? She concludes that the sample contained calcium ion. Whether the student conclusion is valid, if she is adding a white drop, if she is adding sodium hydroxide and observing a white drops, so the white drops, the white precipitate can be due to zinc as well as aluminium when small amount of sodium hydroxide is added, because few drops are added. So not a valid conclusion, and why it is not a valid, because it gives white PPT with zinc and aluminum as well. Give a different test to show that the white solid contain calcium ions. So what we can do, we can add aqueous ammonia. The white precipitate, like there will be no change or no visible change or no reaction, or we can also carry out a flame test and it will give red flame. Hydrated salt of formula AB2.XH2O. Describe how scientists could make sure that all the water has been lost. So how, when we heat it to constant mass, heat to constant mass means that heat until the mass does not change. So until mass does not change means all of the water of crystallization is being lost. Use the scientist result to find the value of X. We have the relative molecular mass for AB2 is 208 and for water is 18. So first, original the mass of hydrated is 6.1 and anhydrous is 5.2. So we'll take a difference to get the mass of water. So the mass of the water will be 6.1 minus 5.2, that's equal to, so this AB2, that is 5.2, and the water H2O 6.1 minus 5.2, 0.9. Divide by atomic molecular mass 208 and 80. So this will be 0.025 and this will be 0.05, and then divide by smallest value 0.025, 0.025. So this will be 1 is to 2. So the formula AB2 dot XH2O, because the ratio is 1 is to 2, so value of X is equals to 2. Describe how scientists could use the solution of a salt to find out the negative ion or chloride ion. Add nitric acid followed by silver nitrate. it will give white PPT. The test shows that the negative ions are chloride ion. Calculate the relative atomic mass of metal A using a formula of anhydrous relative atomic mass of A. So it is chloride ion, so this B is chloride. Chlorine is 35.5, so multiplied by 2. So total mass is 208, which is the mass for AB2. If we subtract the mass of B2, which is 35.5 multiplied by 2, so that is 137. And 137, it means the element with atomic mass of 137, that is barium. So this was January 2019, paper 1C.